Hey guys, I hope you're having a great weekend. So I finished A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the prequel to The Hunger Games. So recently I listened to The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. And I had read that series when I was in middle school, like when it was just coming out and like the movies were being made. So it was like the thing when I was in school. And so I've never read the prequel before, so this is my first time, and I listened to it on audiobook to and from my job. And it took me about a few weeks to get it done because it's about like a 20-minute commute, and it was like 12-hour audiobook. But I enjoyed the book. I really did. It was really interesting to see how Panem was right after the Great War, because if you're not familiar with it, the prequel is based off of 10 years after the Great War. So this is the 10th anniversary of the Hunger Games. And President Snow, who is obviously not president because this is like so many years ago, he is actually like 17 and in high school. They didn't call it high school, but I can't remember what it called, and I'm too lazy to look it up. But he is a senior in high school, and he part of their classes is to participate in their Hunger Games. This is going to be the first year that the Hunger Games is going to have mentors. Now, in the Hunger Games book that the Hunger Games that we know, it has mentors that were the old victors. Well, originally, the Hunger Games was in an old abandoned theater that like the circus would go and play, and it got ruined during the war, and so they would basically throw the 24 tributes into this broken arena, and they would battle to the death, and they like didn't clean it up. It still had like blood from like previous years, and like if things got broken, they didn't fix it, they just left it in shambles, and no one was really watching because they didn't have a reason to watch. Nobody wanted to watch kids murder each other. So the school tasked the students with being mentors, and how do we get it to where more people watch the Hunger Games, which that is a lot of pressure on a 17-year-old, especially these 17-year-olds don't agree with the Hunger Games, but this is their grade for them to graduate, so they have to participate. And so that's something that I really enjoyed, is seeing all the internal conflicts with the different students, because a lot of them don't agree with the Hunger Games. Snow kinda agrees with it, but at the same time, he doesn't. He has mixed feelings, but he's mostly for it because he knows that the capital needs control over the districts or there would be chaos. And so the story goes through Snow and how he is, and as a teenager, which is really interesting because Snow is a charmer, a real charmer. He's got a silver tongue. He can talk his way out of anything, and he's super smart. He's very charming, and it just goes through him again figuring all that out, trying to help his classmates, and then he meets his tribute, Lucy Gray. He falls in love with Lucy Gray, and it is really sweet how he's like getting like possessive over her and like really wanting to help her. But I don't want to say a spoiler, but I'm trying to figure out a way to say it without giving a spoiler. Something happens, Snow does something, and there's a consequence, and he ends up having to go to District 12 as a peacekeeper instead of graduating. And he realizes how life in the district is, and that's not for him, and that maybe he doesn't love Lucy Gray as much, and stuff happens. I really don't want to do a spoiler. It's so hard to do these videos without spoilers, but my final takeaway is, one, Snow is not as bad as a person as he makes it out to be in the Hunger Games. Now, listen, hear me out. I'm saying this because Snow has his reasons. He sees how Panem in the capital and Panem in District 12, and he sees the disconnect between the capital and the districts. And so him at 17 figured out a way to unify everything and make everything cohesive and work. He's smart like that. He thinks he's doing the best thing, but is he doing it in the best way? No. He could have ended the Hunger Games. He could have, but he decided not to. He decided to expand on it and build it, because it was actually Snow's idea at 17 to bring in the food and the water that sponsors could pay for. He obviously continued the mentorships, even though Dr. Gold, the doctor mentor, that teacher that assigned it, said that mentors shouldn't be in it anymore. But he did his best with what he thought was right. Was it in the best way? No. And my other takeaway is, what happened to Lucy Gray? Like, why did you not give us that conclusion? We don't know if she died, if she ran away, if she ever found love or anything. Now, I have gone down some rabbit holes on TikTok where people are saying that Lucy Gray is Katniss's grandmother, because this is a spoiler, so sorry. Lucy Gray created the song The Hanging Tree that Katniss's father knows and that Katniss knows. And in the prequel, this book, there's a lot of mentions of things that happen in the Hunger Games, which I guess works whenever you write the original series and then you go back and write the prequel. You can do that. Like, there is Lucy Gray did a lot of the songs that are in Hunger Games. Snow has a very big distaste for mockingjays right from the get-go, and he finds out that they're into districts, and then Katniss becoming the mockingjay, like, that's symbolic. But yeah, what happened to Lucy? I just really want to know, because she was so sweet and I really loved her. But yeah, I overall enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 5-star out of 5-star, just because I really liked seeing the Hunger Games and its origins compared to what it grew into. Like, if you really do compare them, like, it really did become this, like, extravagant thing. Is it messed up? Absolutely. But, I mean, it's kind of cool at the same time. I feel bad for saying that. But I'm not, and I did post a few videos about how I, like, kind of like Snow, but I feel guilty about it. I'm back to hating Snow because of what he did at the very end of the book. But I do accept that he is a charmer and that he tried his best. Anyways, have a great day, guys.